is to be installing this king jack antenna. It's going to replace the batwing that's on top of Tim Rover. This one here states it can get a lot of more high definition channels, because on Tim Rover, the batwing I've been getting between 10-15 channels, give or take, depends on the gray skies I should say. But let's see how this works. They say it takes about maybe 5 minutes to install. We'll see what happens. My batwing antenna is basically a non-powered antenna, and this one here is a powered antenna. So it's going to be a little bit different, but they still say from the instructions that it should take just 5 minutes to install. Before I go on the roof, I'm going to show you what's all inside of this king jack. I figure I'll show you guys the parts, what's inside. Inside of this box here, I'll lay that to the side, making sure there's nothing inside. Oh, there's instructions. I kind of pre-read the instructions already. Inside of the king jack, I have my instructions. You have your antenna. It's pretty lightweight here. You have what's here. You have your coaxial plug here. Basically, it's a antenna connection that I mentioned earlier, with your power DC adapter. And this is your other male end of your coaxial cable. You have some bushings here that you can use if your little plastic bushing that goes around the cable on top of the king jack that may be broken. You have some more screws, and this here is basically another way that you can install your king jack. We're not going to use this here because we're going to retrofit this here with the batwing antenna that's on top of Tim Rover. So basically we'll be using this metal plate right here. It's pretty lightweight. We won't be using this plate here. This is another retrofit that you can use as an option. So we won't be using that. Of course, we have inside of here, we have your adapter for power in the antenna. For a little prep work, I removed the king jack antenna out of the plastic sheeting here. And what I'm going to do, this metal aluminum plate here, I'm going to take it and put it right over the 4 holes that's on the king jack itself. We're going to tighten those 4 screws in. This will help alleviate trying to do this on the roof of Tim Rover. Lock washers, and using my Phillips head screws here, I'm going to put them into the hole of the bracket right here. We're not going to tighten these down just yet. As you can see how it looks, I'll give you an idea how it looks. Basically, these are just gold washers with, you can see here, hope the camera catches this here, with your lock washers and your screw with a Phillips head. This is not a special type Phillips head. I don't know, a lot of times you get these different products, they have these specialized heads here where you have to use something like out of here with different heads you have here. So I've used that before, but we're not going to do that today, luckily. So once we got all these 4 tightened, remember, don't over tighten these here, because once you over tighten them, you're going to crack the plastic of this king jack and you ruin the whole unit here. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down, just hand tighten. This metal plate here you see, this is the parallel of holes here, so it doesn't matter which way this goes, as long as you have the holes lined up parallel to each side. So I'll go ahead and tighten this down, like so. And you don't want to over tighten these here, because once you over tighten them, like I mentioned before, you're going to ruin it. You got to buy a whole new king jack antenna. What you can do if you're afraid that the lock washers will come loose during transit, because you guys know these RVs rattle down the road, it's like a big earthquake. You can put a little rubber silicone on the heads of the screw, and that will keep it nice and secure. I'm going to remove 2 lock washers. They look like this here. That's what they call them, lock washers, and they just clamp on more like a cotter's pin in a way, but a little different. See here, the lock washers are right here. You got one here, and you got one here under the bottom. So that's kind of cool. They gave you 2 extra lock washers just in case you lose or or one get damaged, you can kind of have two just in case. As you can see here, I don't have a powered antenna, so this is a non-powered batwing antenna, and that I'm going to replace basically. So this whole mechanism you see here is going to be replaced with the king jack antenna. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and take this rubber bushing off, and I'll just unscrew it like so. As you can see me here doing this here, and basically I unscrewed it from the female connector. Now you have your male connector right here. So we'll just lay that to the side. So now I'm going to remove these two lock washers here from the batwing, and this way this batwing should come right out. There's no need for me to remove this boot. This is my extra boot that I have here. In this boot I'm going to keep, looks fairly in good shape. So I'm not going to remove that boot. I'm going to leave the one that's on here. So I carefully removed this other lock washer. I removed both. So now I have 4 lock washers. 2 came with the king jack, as you can see here, and 2 that was on the original antenna. But I'm going to try to use the same lock washers that I had before. If not, we'll use the new ones. So we'll see what happens if I can use the old ones first. So I'll just put those aside, but they don't get misplaced. I can remove these 2 pins here and one here, and this whole king jack assembly should come loose. Now that I'm bringing the king jack antenna up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to install this here onto the mechanism. As you can see, I'll lay that to the side for a minute. On this antenna, there's 2 different heights of this king jack. As you can see, this helps out when it's being retracted, I should say, and helps out when you going up and down with it, because there's a gear right here on the end. Maybe I'll lubricate these gears while I'm at it. Also, when I'm done, I'm going to put a little dielectric grease here on the connectors. So I'll put this here on here, different angle right here. I'll start with my pin here. I'll put that through, and what I'll do, I'll go ahead, since I have this here open, I'll put my lock washers, a locking nut or locking ring, they got different terms for it, and I'll go ahead and just snap it on. And this is a hand snap, basically, so that's not going anywhere. So now your screw, you have your bottom one, your short pole will be down here at the bottom, and your longest pole will be on top. Give you guys an idea how that look. On the inside of Tim Rover, we have some coaxial cables. I'll kind of explain to you what they are. This power cable here, coaxial cable I should say, is coming in from the king jack that's on the roof of Tim Rover. It's coming into this 2-way splitter. It's going out to the rear television, and then you have this other part of the 2-way splitter that's going out to the monitor, or the front monitor of Tim Rover. So what we're going to do, we're going to untighten one screw, this here male coaxial cable, and we're going to use the power injector right here that I called a coupler earlier. I like to call it a coupler, but power injector is fine by king jack standard. So I'll go ahead and tighten this power injector, hand tighten, like I mentioned earlier, hand tighten it where it's just so it does not over tighten. I'm not using any dielectric grease on here just because this is on the inside of Tim Rover and it's not subjected to any of the elements on top of the roof of Tim Rover. So I'm not going to be using any dielectric grease on this procedure right here. So we'll keep moving. So now we'll take our male connector and plug it into the power injector female side, and we'll do another hand tighten, of course. And that's nice and tight. Hand tighten. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my power adapter, I'm going to plug it into the power injector, which it goes back into the outlet of the behind the DVD player. So I have my adapter here. It's a low voltage adapter. I'm going to plug it into the power injector right here, like so. And then I'll run this here to the back outlet behind the DVD player. And then we should be all done after I button the wires up, make it look a lot neater than what it is now. So now what we're going to do, we're going to retune the television to see if we can reprogram or research the channels again. I'm going to show you guys how many channels we can get on this time around. So I'll go to my menu. I'm going to go to broadcasting. I'm going to go down to broadcast. I'm going to do auto program. I'm going to do start. I'm going to do air because we don't have cable. So let's see how many channels we can get out of this here. We get 25% of 0 channels. 42%, 45% still at 0 channels. 51%, we got 5 channels. We at 9 thus far. We at 12. We at 16. At 63%. Still going. Still at 16 channels. We at 23. At 79%, more than what I got before. We at 28 channels. 84%, 31. Still at 88%, 36, 38 channels, at 39 channels, at 92%. With 46 channels at 90, we have 52 channels. That is not bad. That is not bad. This is great because I've been dealing with 10 to 15 channels using the old batwing antenna that I'll show you that's behind me here. And now it's time to let that go. It's time to move forward in life. And I hope you guys can check the King Jack out because I really do like it at 52 channels already. Just even seeing the 52 on there, it kind of shocked me. But it's not that I should say not that bad in price. Check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. Give me a thumbs up if you like. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll bring you more episodes of Tim Rover RV. Do-it-yourself tips, tricks, innovation ideas, or something just different all along. You guys take care. Be good to yourself. See you next time on Tim Rover RV. Have a great day. Bye.